doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley on this side of the table, and the living legend, Mr. Scotty Mincher, right over there, doing big things. And Scotty, happy Wednesday to you, my friend.
Happy Wednesday, DJ. It's great to be here.
It's always great to have you here, dude. And we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about college athletics, a little bit of NIL stuff. Should there be a cap on what these places and services are paying these players, all of that, and plus, of course, your local high school. And at the end of the show, in the 3:30 hour, we have an interview with Wellsville's Jackson Brewer, who just completed a combined no-no over the Latonia Bears earlier this week. We'll have all the info with Jackson, a great sit-down with him, coming up in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. But before we get to anything, Scotty, you know what time it is?
It's time for this day in sports history.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right, Scotty. On this day in sports history, this is May the 11th, in 1940, the 65th Preakness was run, and Fred A. Smith aboard Bimelech, B-I-M-E-L-E-C-H, wins with a time of 1:58.6. So given that, and the fact that you and I haven't had a chance to talk about this, what did you think of the Run for the Roses on Saturday? Did you watch it? Did you get into it? Do you get into the horse racing? Do you drop any Skittles?
I don't bet on it because, as you know, DJ, I was talking about going triple or nothing with you today because I'm like toast with every bet. I'm just cooked. But I don't bet on it, but I do check it out just about every year. And man, Rich Strike being an 80-1, it's like that horse was shot out of a cannon, man. And it's really cool. The jockey, is it Leon?
Yeah, Sonny Leon.
Yeah, being from Youngstown and everything too. So
yeah, the Youngstown ties. That's always good.
That was really cool.
Would you ever bet on a horse or anything that was 80-1? Well, you're a Cleveland fan, so I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I would. You know I would, DJ.
But 80-1, like, there's people that bet $5 and ended up big time money. That's a big time ticket.
Yeah, I think it's the second largest underdog victory for the Kentucky Derby. I think the only other horse, and I forget the name of the horse, but it was like 100-1 shot, and it was like way back in 1913. Though. I think the year was 1913, and that was the only bigger underdog horse to win the Derby.
Okay, so I just looked up odds better than 80-1. So I would like to see what are some of the things in life, and it's just showing me Rich Strike, a bunch of stuff. Things in life. How do you even Google this? Odds of things in life. Let's because I was always wondering this. Okay. Odds of 50 random things happening to you. And this is brought to you by Stacker. So 80-1 odds for Rich Strike to win the Kentucky Derby. Getting struck by lightning. 1 in 1,200,000 people. And now it's odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime. It's down to 1 in 15,000.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. So when people say you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than, whatever, blah, 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 it's really not as much of a long shot now.
Your odds of winning an Olympic medal in your lifetime, 1 in 662,000.
I mean, I'm ready to go, man. Like, put me, I'll challenge anybody. There's got to be some sort of, there's Special Olympics out there. So, I'm game. As time goes on, the more I kind of, that fire is lit under me. So I just see what you're able to do here, DJ, and it's like, man, it's like our tagline, man. It's like LFG.
LFG, baby.
Let's do this.
All right, here's one I'm terrified of. Being killed in a plane crash. Your odds are 1 in 11 million.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's weird, DJ. Like, I've only been on a plane twice in my life, and both times were to go to California. I was in California for Ray Mancini's wedding, which was a lot of fun. And then me and my brother went to a Browns-Chargers game. I know a lot of people freak out with like the turbulence on planes and like that. But I honestly, DJ, I think I'm more stressed in the car, especially if there's traffic. Like I see planes as being very peaceful. Like I'm not nervous when I'm on a plane, but I could get a little, tense when I'm in the car. It's a weird thing.
We're going to go from a real dark place to a real light place. Your odds of having twins are roughly 1 in every 250 natural pregnancies. So 1 in 250.
1 in 250.
I don't think the world could take 2 more Scotty Minchers. There's no way.
No, it's why I'm in a wheelchair now, DJ, because if I wasn't, I would. God had to humble me in some way. He's like, I'm gonna give you a nice slice of humble pie.
Odds of winning the lottery. If you're talking about the Powerball, it's 1 in 25, and I guess that's just like winning even a little bit, any number.
See, I never play. Do you play the lottery ever, DJ?
Very
I
rarely.
Never play it.
Very
like
rarely.
I guess the most I play it every year. My grandma buys us as part as our Christmas gift, and we open them on Christmas Eve. She buys us like scratch offs, and we do that. But that's about to the extent I play it.
Odds is back to the nasty stuff. Odds of being killed by a meteorite impact. 1 in 250,000.
Yeah, that's. Have you seen that? You're so busy, you probably haven't. But have you seen that movie? It's on Netflix called "Don't Look Up," and it's about this. I think it's about something that's about to collide with the Earth, and like it sends people into a panic. But it
sounds like a river.
there's humor in it too. Like, yeah, I'd say.
Is that when Leonardo DiCaprio is in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad.
All right. Last one here. Odds of getting audited by the IRS. 1 in 220. Yeah. You don't even want to worry about that one.
Yeah, I don't, especially for like famous people though. Like, I don't understand how that like Wesley Snipes, who was in, I think he was in those Blade movies and Major League, he served jail time because he didn't pay his taxes.
Wow.
Like, I don't really understand how that happens, but the IRS is pretty scary. Every time I think of the IRS, I think of the movie Happy Gilmore when he's like,
Yes.
"You can't take grandma's stuff. She's old. Look at her. She's too old."
I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up for this, because these are pretty nasty, man. Odds of losing something in the mail, 1 in 2.5. So there's pretty good odds of you in losing something in the mail.
What of those you read off? Like, is there one that just is
dying in a shark attack?
Oh,
That would be my ultimate terror. Like 1 in 3.7 million. Dude, my wife will tell you.
see,
Terrified
I
of
don't buy
sharks.
that though, because, dude, DJ, I don't know about you, but I've seen more and more every year, like people getting attacked, like have like a serious, tense encounter with a shark where they almost get their life taken. So I don't know. I feel like the odds are a little better.
All right, what's this one here? Odds of graduating from a college within 6 years. And it says women are more likely to finish their degrees than men. And at highly selective institutions, more students will likely finish on time. On average, data shows that as many as 6 in 10 students who enroll in 2-year community colleges and for-profit 4-year schools will not graduate. So 40%, I'll make sure I have this right, 40% will graduate on time, but 60% will not in 4 to 6 years.
That's
scary.
That is scary. That's very scary.
Very, very scary. Which leads us into, Scotty, talking about college sports and the NIL stuff that I'm going to let you kind of orchestrate the show here. But I figured that might be a perfect segue into kind of what you're talking about, because if these kids have money, do they need to graduate? Do they want to graduate? All part of the discussion.
Yeah, I wanted to get into this last week. We didn't get the chance to, but I don't know if you saw, DJ. I know you're not the biggest Ohio State fan, but their athletic director came out, Gene Smith, and he said he proposed that the FBS leagues operate under the umbrella of the college football playoff, the CFP, but with their own rules. He mentions Ohio State giving away 85 football scholarships and how things have to be different for programs like that. How do you see this all playing out? It seems like to me the NCAA, as we know it, is kind of like gone. I don't know what the future for collegiate sports holds, but even take like Duke basketball, as rich and prestigious a history of Duke basketball has. Like, if you get another player like a Zion Williamson, just a flat out stud superstar, like it's one thing if he's making serious bank, like money and getting paid, which I don't have a problem with. I know somebody like from my dad's generation, he kind of has a problem with it because he feels they're getting school paid for, and he didn't have, he had to work for pretty much everything. He didn't have 2 nickels, so he's never been in favor of college athletes getting paid. I don't have a problem with it, DJ, but how do you say, okay, just because so-and-so is a, star on the floor, they're going to get this amount, but our great, like, swimmer here, he's not going to make as much because it's not where we put the big bucks into. It just seems like I don't know. To me, there almost has to be a sort of cap or something. But what are your thoughts?
So, again, my opinion, not necessarily the opinion of YSN or the company, but I would say, as a capitalist, as someone who supports, entrepreneurship, and making your own brand and creating your own, end goals and your own opportunities. Why are we so mad that these kids are capitalizing on their talents?
I don't have a problem with it at all.
But why would you cap it? That would be like me saying, Scotty, I think you're the most talented person that comes to YSN, but I'm going to cap you at, $100 a day because I think I need to make more money than you. This is what it comes down to. 100% is that the universities have lost control of this. They asked for this because they wanted to have the greasing of the palms, so to speak. This entire time, the big schools thought that the small schools would never catch up. Then Deion Sanders comes along and turns everybody on their side. Has people going to, what's the university that it's
Is it Grambling?
No. Jackson? Is it Jackson?
Jackson State?
Yeah, that's what it is. I think that's what it is. He's got people going Jackson State over Miami because he can get them deals, NIL deals, where these kids get paid and they don't have to worry about what's waiting for them on the other side. What's going to be interesting, Scotty, is these kids are going to stay in college longer because they'll make more in college than they will in the pros in the first 3 years. And they don't have to be the inmates will run the asylum, so to speak. And I mean that in the very nicest of ways. Because if you thought it was bad now, with the coaches having zero control of their team, unless they are a Coach K or, North Carolina, help me out. Dean Smith, thank you. Like, you have to have that swagger. And basically the court named after you. These kids are not going to listen because they're making millions of dollars. And I don't feel bad because for years, these institutions, these programs have made a mint off of the names of their kids, not only while they're there, but after they're gone. How many, we have, I love Michael Jordan, but how often do we see Michael Jordan constantly for North Carolina? And I know they're buddies and there's a partnership with the Jordan brand and Nike and things like that. And it's worked. But Kyrie Irving at Duke, and Christian Laettner at Duke. I mean, how many times have they run those highlights constantly? Because they want to sell the product. They want to sell the program. And now these kids have the programs and say, hey, you want me? How are you going to help me? How do you help my bank account? It is the same way that now high schoolers graduate from high school and they can go pretty much wherever they want for the highest bidder out of high school. And if the NIL comes to high school, you don't think there's going to be a crazy problem? A crazy problem with parents saying, well, I can get more if I send my kid here? Oh, it's a monster. But it's Pandora's box, and the NCAA opened it because they thought that they would kind of hush everybody and be hush money. Scotty, the students got this one right. And there were people that were opportunistic and ready to roll when this thing came out.
And don't get me wrong. I think when I said I don't have a problem with it, and you said, well, why would you cap it then? I'm not. I'm totally for, like you gave us here as an example, and what you started here and YSN and being your own boss, being in control of your own business. And I get that, and maybe I'm a bit in over my head here. Like, I think with some of these things, I'm just like, I don't know as much to how money flows, where it comes from, and how a cap would work. But that's my point. Just I say to you, DJ, the only concern I have is, what if someone is absolutely outstanding, but their sport, the sport they're great at, isn't what the school is known for. You see what I'm saying? And they say, well, this isn't televised as much, or your face isn't out there as much. So even though they're the best, we can't pay you what we're paying a Christian. You brought up Christian Leitner, or somebody like a Kyrie Irving. We can't pay you what they're gonna make.
Well, here's
that's the problem I have. But there's got to be a way to do it.
No,
right?
there's not, because once you open this box and it's wide open now, it's what we call whammy culture. Have you ever heard that before? Whammy culture?
I have not.
What about me, myself, and I?
Okay.
Okay. So what you have is institution directors or presidents that are the head of colleges, right? So we used North Carolina once. We're not going to use them again. We use Duke. We're not. Let's say University of Virginia. The president makes $1 million a year, let's say. Some freshman comes in making $2 million on an NIL deal. Well, what about me? What about myself? How do I stand so tall at 60-some years old, and this 17, 18-year-old kid comes in, he's making more money than I am, and I'm the president of a college? Well, I'll tell you why. Because that kid puts butts in your seats to pay your salary so that you can be the president of the college. Sports is still the number one, outside of tuition, of course, because tuition is ridiculous as well. But I digress. Why shouldn't that person make money? Why shouldn't that college player make money? If the power was in the scholarships before, and the kids had no power over if they got a scholarship or not, who was ruling the roost there? So the problem that I see, the biggest problem that I see, is that transfer portal that's already wide open, and it looks like the Doctor Strange portal that people just walk through at their convenience. It's going to get bigger, because you're going to have kids walking in making $2 million, and the other upperclassmen aren't going to be making that money, and they're just going to say, well, I'm out of here then. If you can't help me make that much money, I'm gone. Then what do? Then you're constantly dipping and trying to find, it's like that big jar of trail mix. Everybody's got their favorite, and you kind of sort it around and try to figure out, like, how do you get to the M&Ms when you want that little sweet, or how do you get to the pretzels when you want a little salty? The problem is you're going to be searching in that jar for a while to find what you need, and that it's going to be on the bottom of that jar. You're not going to be able to access the people you need. Pardon me. Because it's going to be just more challenging. There's going to be more people to sort through. And again, it's going to be like trying to recycle bags and bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of people's trash, because that's what it is. One person's trash is another person's treasure, Scotty.
Yeah. It's a really, and you bring up some very interesting points. I just think college collegiate sports as we know it, like as far as the NCAA, like I think that stuff is over with.
Well, sports is now a business. It's not just sports anymore. Sports is a $400 billion a year business. Think about that. And then think, to be an expert in something, you need to be a 10% expert. So you need to know 10% of what you're talking about to be an expert. So if you were in sports, Scotty, and you were trying to take a cut of that pie, $400 billion, all you're asking for is $40 billion. That's all. I think you could live off $40 billion a year.
I think so too.
To be an expert in the sports industry. That's all I'm saying is companies like ours are going to be the new wave of the future, because anybody can make money off of sports now, because sports, again, is a bulletproof, economy-proof product. And we've seen that, because COVID, first thing to come back, what was it?
Sports.
our economy after 9/11, first thing to come back.
Sports.
It's the proof is in the pudding, my friend. And people finally figured this out, that we need sports in our ecosystem to survive. We are competitive creatures by habit. It goes all the way back to Adam and Eve. We are competitive beyond measure. It goes to the Roman Colosseum, and now it goes to, the law rooms, the courtrooms, you name it. It goes everywhere you want to look. Sports is become part of our culture. It's embedded in our society. We are firmly attached to it by the threads of our very fabric. Of who we are as Americans and who we are as the human race.
Yeah, it's to me, and we've talked about, like, should social issues be brought up in sports, and some people think, if I want to see something like that, I'll turn on the news. I don't want it in my sports. I think I'm able to, like, understand that certain people have a voice, and I'm not going to tell them to shut up, but
Good.
I understand it. I get it. But to me, it's still, even when people get upset if they think someone's being too political or whatever, like, once that game tips off, to me, sports has always been the great escape. Like, it's like my comfort food. It's like, I don't know, getting a nice juicy steak or that great slice of pizza from Avalon.
Yeah, baby.
It's just like, when I'm down, man, sports has always been there for me, even before Ysn came along, and now with being with you guys, like, my passion and my hunger, it's just, magnified that much more.
No, we appreciate it.
Um,
You ready to go to your spark? Because I know we're kind of time constrained here today because I got to get to a game, and obviously we have got an interview coming up. So what is your spark presented by our friends at Joe Dickey Electric?
Yes, my spark for today, DJ. I just want to say real quickly,
Sure.
I know people that they see me on here, and they they look at my smile, and they watch something like Running Point, and of course when we do the Power Hour, and I try to every day keep things together as much as I can, but I have my moments where I have some serious doubts. I anxiety, or sometimes depression keeps in. But recently, DJ, to help me get through a rough time, I thought back to a post you made not too long ago, and it said, you survived 100% of your bad days. And I thought about that in that day that you posted that. I think I shared it too. And that's what I want to say is, everybody has ups and downs in life. It's like baseball. There's peaks and there's valleys. But if you just focus on everything that's good, and there's a lot more good in my life than there is bad. But sometimes, I forget about that because I'm focusing on one negative instead of all my strong points. So I just wanted to say, I think anybody, if you just continue to focus on what makes you, what makes you go, what gives you that hunger, you can really get through anything. And again, going back to that, surviving 100% of your bad days, I may never hit a home run, but I get up every single day, and I'm able to talk and watch something I love in that sport. So Sorry for that whole life lesson there, but that's my sport.
I love it, buddy. We appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. As we wish Scotty farewell, we head to break. Come back. Here's Jackson Brewer from Wellsville when we return on the Ysn Power Hour.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
What's up, everybody? It is a player profile, and it's from Wellsville. We are joined by the man of the hour, Jackson Brewer, who, I don't know if you know this, but pretty daggone good athlete, and especially on the baseball diamond. Just completed a no-hitter, combined no-hitter for Wellsville over Latonia, and we've got him here, lucky enough to get him here on the Ysn Power Hour and here on the player profile. Jackson, what's going on?
Not much.
Not much. Just a no-hitter. Just a combined no-hitter with you and some of your best friends hanging out as you head towards the playoffs. It's been a challenging year for you guys from a wins and loss category, but it seems like it's been fun. Talk to me about, from your standpoint, why it's so special this year, your junior year, to be on the diamond with your guys.
You know, we thought it would be different, like at the beginning of the year, but we're just struggling putting games together as a whole. Like, we're good fielding, then when the bats won't be there that game. It's just a struggle sometimes, but they seem to have fun. So, I mean, as long as everybody's smiling.
That's baseball, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And you know, obviously there's two seasons in each baseball season in high school. There's the regular season, and then there's the postseason. And if you guys keep pitching like you're pitching, it seems like you're going to make some noise in the postseason. Have you guys had that talk after the games and said, listen, whatever happens the rest of the regular season, it happens, but we're going to turn our focus towards, you know, creating some waves and wrecking some seasons in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, the bats has come along, and I think we're getting better, actually. This week, we play every day this week. So, Case and Ramsey, he's really stepping up and swinging the bat good. Yeah, the bats are coming along. We couldn't hit the ball at the beginning of the season, but we're stringing them.
Has it been a challenge for you guys with the weather the way it's been and trying to get games in? And, you know, you get, I mean, baseball and softball, you get hot and cold anyway. To have regularity, to have, you know, you guys said you're playing every day this week. That's got to feel good, getting the reps, getting, you know, some of those regular reps on a daily basis and understanding, okay, I got to work on this, I got to work on this, I got to work on this, and not having, you know, 7 days between games to do so.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the year, it was probably about 3 or 4 weeks until we got our first home game up at Hammond Park. So that was a struggle, but
Is it still a short porch out there?
yeah, 300 down the line.
I was going to say, I remember hitting a pop-up in high school, and that thing just kept on going, and next thing I know, I was running around the bases. Advantage for you? As a pitcher, I got to probably say no, but as a hitter, you got to be licking your chops.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always swinging out there, but I haven't got one to go over yet this year. We've had, I don't know how many home games, but yeah.
All right, so
yesterday I thought, but it was like 3 feet in front of the fence.
You had to pick a game-winning home run or a perfect game or a no-hitter. Which one are you picking and why?
Probably a game-winning home run.
Why is that?
I feel like the hype's more around that or at least around here. But if it was like a bigger game, probably a perfect game. But
what's your favorite baseball memory thus far in your young career?
That's probably hitting my first home run.
In varsity or just ever?
Just ever. Yeah.
How young were you?
I think I was 13. I was playing with Tommy Peace, Renegades.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good days.
Now, there's some East Liverpool ties to you, very, very strong East Liverpool ties. You mentioned Tommy Pease, the voice of Ysn. Evan Tice, one of your best friends in the world. Talk to me about the relationship that you guys have, and one of the best catchers in the area and one of the best pitchers in the area.
Oh, yeah, we're always together, like at least 3 or 4 times a week. It could be anything, just working out, hitting, working. It doesn't matter. We're together.
So you talk about working. You guys started your own business at the ripe old age of what? You're a sophomore. He would have been a freshman, right?
No, we just started this up this year.
Oh, okay. So you started up this year, juniors and sophomore. Okay, so talk to me about what it is and why it's important to you guys.
It's just car detailing. I mean, we're both really into cars, and his dad has a shop down there, so he has a detailing booth in the back. So we just started calling people up, asking them if they wanted details on Facebook, and then it kind of just blew up. We have a bunch of people that want it done, so yeah.
I might have to try it out. I mean, I got my Equinox is looking a little rough after the winter, so maybe I'll call you. What's the business? Free shout out.
Just BTAS detailing is what it is.
I like it. So let's do this. You said you like cars. What is the dream car for you?
Probably a Mustang GT 500.
Is there a certain color?
White with black stripes.
I like it. The racing stripes on it. All right. What was the conversation like that you and E.T. sat there and said, hey, we're going to start a business?
I don't know. His dad kind of mentioned it before, and then we just probably thought about it for a good 4 or 5 months until finally just saying, let's do
it. and as a business owner, what were the challenges of starting that business? And obviously, scale probably for you guys because there's only 2 of you. And you can only take so many appointments. What were some of the challenges that you knew you were going to face, and what were some of the surprises that you faced along the way?
Just, figuring out how to do it, how to run it, and what we need to do, like when we need to do it, just researching products and everything else.
Is that something you want to do later in life, is be a business owner?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I love it. All right, so you play for Wellsville right now, and obviously most people that are successful, players that are successful, play in the summer. You told me as of right now, you don't have a summer league team. No. What is it about? Do you want time in the summer, or is it just nobody's picked you up yet?
Definitely. I mean, I like having time, but I love baseball too. It's always fun.
So what you're telling me is you're a free agent? Pretty
much.
He's a free agent, folks. I know all those scene teams are dying, if nothing else, to have you pitch once every 5th day. And obviously, you're pretty doggone good if you're throwing no-nos. So talk to me about what your favorite part of preparing for a pitching performance is. Is there a certain thing that you go to? Is there music you listen to? A prep meal? A meal after? What is it that gets you ready for a really good outing?
I don't really listen to music like before the games or nothing, but I definitely eat a Reese cup before every outing. That's
A
my
Reese's cup?
Yep.
That's
And then-
it.
Yep.
Just one, not two.
No, right now it's the Reese's eggs because of Easter.
All right, you gotta help me out for this, because I argue with my wife all the time. The eggs, the hearts, the trees, and the cups all taste different. Correct or false?
Yeah, definitely.
And what is your favorite out of all of those?
Probably the egg.
See, that's the same with me, man. The egg just tastes different.
Yeah.
Different level. And so, all right, so the Reese's cup, you got to go with the Reese's cup. Do you have any other superstitions that you do before games or before you go to school or tests or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, I don't like to warm up for a long time before I pitch, light jog and couple probably 20 pitches before. And then when we go out, take the field, it's probably 4 pitches and I'm good. Just
Do you have the same warm-up partner?
Yeah.
And who is it?
Gavin Kuntz. He's our catcher, pitcher.
I like it. Pitchers and catchers have to stay together. I mean, it's peanut butter and jelly. All right. So you and Justin combined for the no-no, right?
Yeah, Justin Temple.
So talk to me about, you had the ball to start, 9 Ks. You handed the ball off to Justin. Did you guys have an interaction? Did you say, hey, I got something special going here. Don't mess this up? Or did you just give him the ball and go?
I mean, I forget what he came up to me and said before, but he said something, I forget, and we smiled and laughed. And then I don't think he's pitched much this year because he was out for a month. He slid at Edison, and he cut his knee open and had to get surgery.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Yikes. That's when you play sports, that's what you get. And obviously we wish him well. And looks like he's doing just fine coming back and completing that no-no. All right, Jax, when you think about baseball at Wellsville, there's a lot of legacy. There's a lot of names. Dalrymple's come to mind for me. When you think about what legacy you want to leave behind of other young Tigers that are going to wear that W on their cap, what legacy do you want to leave?
I don't know, just play for the name on the back and the front of your jersey. Just show up every day and play your best. There's 3 things you can control: your energy. 3 things, maybe.
Attitude and effort.
Yep, there you go.
We use that in our house all the time, man. So I knew exactly where you were going. So I'll bail you out on that one. All right, you got to bail me out on this. Checklist, your bucket list before you finish this season. What are some of the things that you want to accomplish?
Hopefully we get a playoff win. We got St. Thomas Aquinas. They're a 21 seed, so I think we can get them. And then the rest of the season, hopefully we got Southern tomorrow, and then Palestine Friday and Saturday. Hopefully we can win some there.
And what are the things that you want to accomplish in your career before you leave and hang up your jersey as a Tiger?
Hopefully we can get a winning season next year. I mean, I don't know what the league's going to look like next year. I mean, Columbiana's bringing a lot of people back. United, I'm not sure how many seniors they have. But hopefully we can just get a winning record next year. I think we were 500 or close to 500 last year.
Now, you play basketball as well. Do you want to play either sport, both sports in college? What do you want to do?
I definitely, people think I like basketball better, but baseball is my thing. It's a family thing.
That's your go. Okay, so talk to me about the family, the heritage of baseball. What is it? Mom, dad? Is it brother, sister? What is it?
Well, my pap, he's always taught me, coached me coming up. Anytime I want to go hit or something, he still do it today. He's always on me about getting better, and he always talks about my dad and how everybody thought he was a better football player, but really he was a baseball player.
I dig it. And people say that about you in basketball. They think that you like basketball more, but you say you like baseball. I like it. So a lot of traits coming down that family tree. I dig it, man. All right, let's talk about your influences, your inspirations. On the field first, is there anybody you look to on the baseball field that you go, man, I want to be like him or I want to be like them when I get older, or, I want to get drafted and play just like them?
I like Alex Bregman a lot. He has a YouTube channel. I watch it a lot. Just especially during quarantines and stuff, he keep everybody updated on workouts and everything else. So
I like it. And now off the field, who's your inspiration? Who's the people that have lifted you up along the way that you want to give maybe a little bit of a shout out back to?
Definitely my mom and my pap. I mean, my mom, how hardworking she is and what she does for me and my sister. But my pap always being there for me and just pushing me to be the best I can.
I love it, man. Keep it in the family. I dig it, Jackson. Jackson Brewer, thank you so much for joining us. Could not thank you enough and wish you more success, man. And again, if you're out there, you have a baseball team in the summer and you're looking for a 5-star kind of kid, both on the field and off the field, Jackson Brewer is your guy. I can personally attest to that. So, Jackson, thank you. Tip of the cap to you. And we'll see you around the baseball diamond. Best of luck to you, young man. It is time for the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by our friends over at DickeyElectric.com, and visit them in North Lima on their campus at Joe Dickey Electric. Scotty already gave you his rundown of what his spark was. Mine is quite simply being able to kind of put things behind you. Turn the page, if you will. Turn the page is a term they use in the baseball world when a pitcher continues to throw over to first base and try to check the runner, turn the page. Let's get on with it. And I've been so impressed with everybody who has kind of come out publicly, privately, and talked about the situation with us and Austintown Fitch. So incredibly happy to announce today that we have signed a 3-year deal with Austintown Fitch. Huge thanks to the Board of Education, the superintendent, Cappy, over there, who really did a wonderful job on both sides to work through the issues, the communication, and the communication lines are now wide open and going back and forth. And we're greatly looking forward to not only promoting the programs on YSN, but working with Falcon Media, which, if you don't know, is their production company based within the school that is led by a wonderful teacher in Gina Cardillo, who is a huge advocate for YSN. And we want more kids to really dive into the world of broadcasting and sports streaming. So with schools like Fitch and Boardman and Struthers, and the list goes on, Hubbard, and you look at the behind us, East Liverpool, just constant. There's a future in broadcasting. There's a future in sports, as we talked about today. And we're happy to not only get things covered on the field, but to be a part of the things that happen behind the scenes as well. So excited to get things going with Austintown Fitch once again. There was no break in the coverage. There was a revamp in communication, and we are so proud to be able to announce that. And I stand humbly before everybody that was a part of the concern of losing YSN, and I say thank you. I say thank you on so many levels for so many people. And people around the country, people around the world that want to watch these kids on YSN, and it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same. The show would have gone on, but it wouldn't have been the same. So thank you to all involved. We're happy that we can turn the page and move on and grow and win together. So excited for that, and certainly excited for the other 60 plus organizations and schools that we have under the YSN banner as part of the YSN family. That's going to do it for our show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on the YSN Power Hour. Say so long, Scotty.
So long, everybody.